What's going on, guys? Hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas. This is Premier League predictions for game week 18. We have 8 Boxing Day games, which you can see either side of me here, and then we have 2 for the Friday. Just 2 games, which we'll get into as well. Remember, you have 1 banana skin to use, so 1 game where you think, oh, could be a slip up here, could be the Man City game, could be the Southampton game, could be the United game. Where are you going to put that banana skin? Also, where are you going to put the barn burner? Likely to be Spurs, always. You could say Spurs, Forest. There's a few in there that you think could be Newcastle, Aston Villa, maybe. What do you think? Let me know, guys. Get it in the comments, and we shall interact. So, the first game, as you can see on your left-hand side of the screen. And sorry, game week 8 predictions, 18's predictions coming in. Man City versus Everton. If you look at Everton's past couple of games, stunk it out at Goodison to get a 0-0 draw against Chelsea. Did the exact same to Arsenal. Pep is absolutely desperate to get a win. I'm praying that Dyche can do what he's already done a couple of times. But rather than a 0-0 draw, I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I think, yeah, City versus Everton. I know it's at the Etihad. I don't know, actually. Now, I always do this. I do my predictions, I get them down, and then I start to change them midway through. I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to go 1-1. And I think the downfall continues. I mean, they're talking about training on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve, and I don't care, to be honest. There's only so much you can train. If anything, you're overtraining, Pep. 1-1. I'm going to stick with it. Next up, Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. The name Bournemouth still sends shivers down my spine because we lost 3-0 to them recently. 2 teams that are in decent form. I know Palace got smashed by Arsenal, but prior to that, they've been doing pretty well. So I still think this game will be super competitive. Ismail Sarr in really good form at the moment. Evan Nilsson, Clivert, Semenyo cooking for Bournemouth. So there'll be goals. But I think it'll be evenly matched. And I think 2-2 is a fair result for Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. What do you think? One of the easier games to predict, I would say that. This one, Chelsea versus Fulham. You've seen quotes from Maresca today coming out saying, why are people talking about the title and da. And it seems like it's irritating him a little bit. And they're saying it because you're about 4 points behind Liverpool, or you was, obviously, before they beat Spurs. You know, you had a real opportunity to close the gap there if Liverpool had slipped up. So I still think they're a very, very strong team. They've got a lot of firepower. Fulham are also, you know, under Marco Silva this season, they've been doing really, really well as a unit, as a team. The way they press, the way they move the ball and shift it, they are dangerous. So I think I'm going to go with a Chelsea 2-1. I think that's what I'll put down. But it'll be very, very, very tough. They'll want to get points, you know, dropping points to Everton. They'll need the full 3 points, so they'll push for this. And yeah, 2-1. I think it's a fair reflection. Is this the barn burner that we're going with, people? I might do it. Usually I would go with Spurs, but I think that's a given nowadays with them. So I'm going to go Newcastle and Villa. This could be a very tasty game. You look at Isaac, Willock, Gordon at the moment, front 3, cooking. You know, scored 4 goals, 5 goals could have been if Dan Burns wouldn't have been ruled offside. Thanks for that. I had him in the FPL team. But they're scoring goals. They're flying at the moment. They're going to want to continue that momentum. Aston Villa were good against Man City. Probably the best performance I've seen from them for a hot minute. So am I going to go with another draw? Another Desmond? I think I'm going to 2-2 or even 3-3 this could be. It's Boxing Day, remember, people. Sometimes crazy results happen on Boxing Day, so just remember that when I'm going through these predictions. 3-3, I'm changing it. Aston Villa versus Newcastle. I think that's probably fair. Both teams cooking at the minute. Next up, the one that could have been the potential barn burner, Nottingham Forest versus Spurs. My God, there's so many tough games to call this week. They're evenly matched, I mean, like Chelsea, Fulham, even. Newcastle, Villa, pretty even. Forest versus Spurs, honestly. I mean, Spurs shipped 6 goals in against Liverpool, but we know they're capable of doing that. We also know they're capable of beating United, City, and Aston Villa. So how on earth do you predict this? I think Forest have been pretty consistent, in fairness, in a lot of the results. And I don't think I've given them enough credit when I've done my kind of predictions for the game week. So I'm going to give Forest a win here. I'm going to go 2-1. They've been really, really strong and they've been impressive. You know, Chris Wood likely to get on the score sheet. But also the wingers, the centre-backs, Milinkovic and Murillo. I mean, they look like a solid team. So I think Spurs to lose 2-1. I think that's fair. Southampton versus West Ham. I mean, it's just a 1-0 win to West Ham. I think it's as simple as that. Southampton are the only ones in the Premier League at the moment where you can pretty much go, yeah, they'll probably lose. The rest of them, Wolves, which we'll get into in a minute, you're like, I don't know. Leicester won the other day. Under Rude, obviously, the first game. You just don't know with a lot of the teams, whereas I think Southampton, I think West Ham will just edge it. I don't think it's going to be an entertaining game. I think they'll win it 1 or 2-0, and that's probably fair. This one, I really don't want to predict. I've just finished doing the preview for this, which came out yesterday. So I would have given my prediction on there if you want to go check that out. It's going to be tough, man. The way we're playing at the moment, the set pieces we're conceding, the mistakes that we're making in game. Wolves got a new manager, Vitor Pereira. Just beat Leicester 4-0, I think it was. They're on a high, Morel's high. They've got good quality players like Cunha, Aït-Nourish, John Larson. I'm worried, I'm not going to lie. But if you want to find out my prediction, go check it out on our YouTube channel. We dropped it yesterday, and let us know your thoughts as well. And then the last game of Boxing Day, we've got Liverpool versus Leicester. Is it as easy just to say this is just going to be a light work? Liverpool are way too good at the moment. You know, Leicester just shipped 4 against Wolves. How many goals did they concede against Liverpool? Salah, all the teams flying. I can't even just pick out one. Salah in particular, of course, his stats this season are freakish. And if he continues and goes on to win the Premier League and the Champions League, you're definitely in for a shout with the Ballon d'Or. So I think they're going to win 4-1. Just way too good, and they'll have way too much for Leicester. Could they be surprised? I don't think so. I don't think there'll be a banana skin in that. Brighton versus Brentford. I don't know. Brentford's away form is kind of like, Brighton is slightly slipping at the minute. This is one of the harder ones for me, I think, to predict. But I will go with a Brighton 2-1 win. I think it'll be 1-1 for a while. But I think they'll just come through. But I don't know, Brighton, the past couple of weeks, let me down. On my Hackers, they've let me down on a couple of things. So Brentford could nick a draw, but I think Brighton should just edge it, just simply due to Brentford's away record. And the last game of the weekend is Arsenal versus Ipswich. Now, a lot of people may have had this as their banana skin, right? And I'm not having it. I'm not buying it. Just because Saka's out, you know, you look at the team, they just beat Crystal Palace 5-1. They've still got players. I mean, Rice came on and scored. They've got Ødegaard still there, back now. Jesus is flying at the moment. They've got enough there to get the job done against Ipswich, with all due respect. I think Ipswich could potentially get a goal. But I've gone with... No, I don't think they're going to get a goal. I went with a 2-0. A 2-0 to Arsenal. I think that's good. I'm happy with that. So, let me know your thoughts, people. Thoughts, feelings about this game. Obviously, Boxing Day football typically is always the exciting one, isn't it? I don't think I give my banana skin there. Oh, it's tough, that. Banana skin. What would be a potential banana skin? I think it's the Wolves and United one. I do. I know United have been in bad form, 13th in the league, so you kind of expect them to have a tricky... I think United could slip up at Molineux. Easy. The past couple of games we've played, we've won there. Obviously, I had Kobbie Mainoo's goal last season. But apart from that, Molineux can be a sticky ground for us. And just all the things factored into one, I think we might struggle. So I'll go with the Wolves versus Man United for the banana skin and the barn burner for Newcastle and Aston Villa. Please leave your thoughts in the comments section. Let me hear your opinions on these games, because it's driving me mad trying to predict them. Hopefully you've enjoyed this show. If you have, smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And hopefully you guys had a good Christmas as well, and you enjoyed Boxing Day. Don't have too many beers, if you know what I'm saying. And let's go into the new year together.